Hey, what's going on, guys? So, here we are in the studio. I have been goofing off quite a bit, getting ready for my expedition later this month. If you don't know the details about that, don't worry. You'll learn all about it at the end of the month. It's going really crazy. So I've been keeping myself entertained by looking into some of our old friends, researching some of the older wingnuts that I've had to cover before in the past, and I happened to come upon a fascinating live stream between Rachel Stoller, the forensic nurse, and one Dr. Kenneth Stoller, MD, where they talk about vaccines. Doesn't that sound like a really fun thing to watch?
Hello, everyone. This is Rachel Stoller, the forensic nurse, exposing medical crime, one misdiagnosis at a time. Today, we're going to talk about reverse transcriptase and retrovirus and vaccines. And I'm so excited to have the legendary Dr. Kenneth Stoller on the show today.
So we got to touch on Dr. Stoller here real quick. Dr. Stoller's about to get his medical license pulled. Seems he got into some hot water about vaccines.
So let's get right into it. I want to learn about reverse transcriptase and retrovirus. This is like a deeper, more advanced topic that I think goes beyond the ingredients in the vaccine. So what comes to mind when I say those two things?
Well, retroviruses are RNA viruses, and they require reverse transcriptase to deliver their message into the DNA of our cells and get those and co-opt those cells to do what they want to do, which is create more of themselves.
So does it insert, I wrote all that down, does it insert into the DNA? Insert itself?
Yeah, I mean, it's the reverse transcriptase inserts, it inserts DNA sequences. In other words, instead of writing the DNA, writing a messenger, it's where the messenger actually rewrites the DNA.
Oh my gosh.
Does that make sense?
Oh no.
Yes. Okay. So the message.
No. I'm just, look, spoiler alert a little bit, just because we got to talk about this because it's going to be so frustrating. She does not understand what he just said. She has no functional understanding at all of what he just said. Moreover, he's gonna let her run with this too. This is really fucking crazy.
So what I try to teach people is it's like downloading a corrupted file. Like if I downloaded malware, my operating system, my DNA would be different, right?
Right, it's exactly what it is.
No, that's not exactly what it is. Are you fucking mental? That makes no goddamn sense. If you have a retrovirus that causes that sort of change, okay, what we're talking about is a cellular change. It's the DNA inside of a cell, one cell. How many cells do you have in your body? Billions and billions of cells. Billions and billions and billions of cells. Now, could a very substantial amount of those actually get changed and it could cause some damage? Yes. But to say that, like, it overwrote my System 32 file or whatever, like, no, that's not how it works. Trying to equate that to a corrupted file or malware is idiotic. It doesn't work that way.
So what vaccines have retrovirus?
I don't have the full list, but most of them, and it's not like they test for them.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we in the industry call a giant, blatant lie. Very much so, a lie. How many vaccines have retroviruses in them? Zero. There are zero. And the reason we know there are zero is because we test for that. And we know that, and we test for that because at one point back in the day, we did find animal retroviruses inside of vaccines. Now, they did not, in fact, infect or in any way change the DNA of human beings. But because we saw that and because there was such a panic, now we test for it. That is something we literally do. We literally do that right now. There are none, and we test for it. Yes, sir. Liar, 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 liar. Jesus.
All right, so let me stop you right there then. What I was pointing out in the insert, because people spend so much time debating about the ingredients, I said the number one thing you need to know about the vaccine is that it's not tested for mutagenicity. It's not tested for carcinogenicity. So that's cancer.
How do you test for mutagenicity? Mutagenicity. Testing to see whether or not the DNA inside of something has mutated or not would mean that you would then have to sequence the DNA that's inside the vaccine. That we don't do that with anything. We don't do that with literally anything at all, period, hands down, with any real relative frequency. If we do that for safety testing, we're going to do it in very large batches if we do it at all. But the whole concept of like, well, things might mutate. Well, I don't know if this is a big reveal to you, Rachel Stoller, but also to anybody watching, but your body is mutating thousands and thousands of times every minute. Constantly. Your body is mutating. We're all mutating. Everything that's organic is mutating right now. So we haven't tested to see if it's mutated. I'm sure it has. So what? What? Oh, my God.
I always tell everyone, cancer and autoimmune disease is caused by vaccines because all vaccinations are genetically modified. They're GMO, and by the...
That doesn't even make any sense. It happens because they're genetically modified. Something being genetically modified doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. If you genetically modify something, and first of all, how exactly are you talking about genetically modifying something? There are, I think, at least 4 different direct methods in which to do gene insertions. On top of that, the hybridization and the crossbreeding of things using organic methods, oh my God, okay. Oh, my brain is gonna explode. Hang on. Let's get low. Let's cool off for a second. Okay. Look. All right. Just by nature of the way in which we hybridize plants in organic methods, the way organic farmers tend to crossbreed their plants produces far more mutations per combination than directed intentional gene insertion. And we don't even know what those combinations are going to be. We have no way of knowing that. We have no way of tracking that. But that's just a simple basic function of how the whole thing works. In fact, genetic modification is safer because at least you know exactly what you're doing. When you do just hybridization and crossbreeding, you don't. Whoa. But she doesn't know that because she's an idiot.
And so wild measles, is different from that mutated strain. You can't have immunity from a GM.
What? Wait, hang on. No. You can't equate influenza and measles. We have to get new flu vaccines developed every year because influenza does mutate. Yes. Measles does not do that. Measles does not wildly mutate. There are only 2 types of measles. One that is basic measles, and the other that stems from rubella. Oddly enough, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine covers both of those things and mumps. Like that, it's in the name. It's.
Well, I mean, you're right in the sense if you're vaccinating for one organism, but that's not the organism that's circulating, obviously the potential for that vaccine to work drops to near 0.
Notice he did not actually say you're correct overall. He said, well, in this supposed situation, yes, you're correct. That to me speaks that this guy is intentionally dishonest. He knows that what she said was wrong, but he's finding a way to make it sound like what she says is right.
So let's take the measles virus. The measles infection that probably caused the problem in Samoa was a genotype D, probably D8. And essentially, these different genotypes of measles have been created because of the evolutionary pressure put on that life form by the vaccines. So in a sense, the vaccines are causing these viruses to...
Whoa. So this guy is now trying to say that the reason why all those children died in Samoa from measles was not because they were unvaccinated, which they were unvaccinated, and that's why they got measles, and that's why they passed away. But no. See, the problem is that it was a bad type of measles. It was a real bad type of measles, right? And the only reason that bad type of measles existed was because the measles vaccine caused measles to become bad measles, and that's what killed all those children. It wasn't fear peddling in the anti-vax communities. Oh no, of course. Listen, don't be fucking stupid, okay? It was the vaccines. That's all it was. Oh my god, this dude sucks. He sucks. You, Kenneth Stoller, you suck.
Evolve, because life will find a way, as they like to say in Jurassic Park. So if you close one door, it will try to open another door.
Oh god.
So that, you know, to educate the healthcare professionals, the nurses, the doctors, the pharmacists, you know, we have to know the mechanism. It's important. So tell me about retrovirus then.
Well, I mean, essentially, retrovirus is, like I said, it is a special type of virus. It's not a DNA virus like herpes. It's like an HIV virus, which is an RNA virus.
So wait a minute, I got it mixed up. I'm sorry. So the first one, you went over that retrovirus, the RNA thing, right?
Right.
So that's not the same as reverse transcriptase.
Now, reverse transcriptase is an enzyme.
Oh my god.
That allows the RNA message.
Oh my god.
To be incorporated.
So, and this is, oh my god. Okay, this is what's so gross about this thing. Rachel wants to put together this program of de-brainwashing healthcare professionals, nurses, and doctors. She wants to reteach them this stuff that they don't know, and they've been misled. And she doesn't even understand that reverse transcriptase and retroviruses are different. Reverse transcriptase is an enzyme. Wait, that's like saying, is this grain of sand, is it the same thing as this beach? What the fuck? Oh my god. This conversation between these two feels to me like this is a guy who got a bunch of weird ideas in his head, got made fun of for it, found that the anti-vax cult thinks he's charming and gave him a lot of attention, so now he's pandering to them. And Rachel is actually a fucking moron and is sitting here listening to everything, just fishing for things that she can plug in like Mad Libs to plug in to make sense of why people shouldn't vaccinate. Like, I see people do this all the time. I just usually don't see a video of them doing it in real time. Like, this is wild. Hello, Jeff at the desk here. I wanted to take a moment and pause the video because at this point, he goes on to talk about the SV40 virus and goes at length about a bunch of different stuff. Rather than have to sit through the whole thing, I'm just going to give you the basic rundown of what SV40 is. There are links in the description below. So, SV40, this is all based around a situation in the late 50s where batches of the polio vaccine were contaminated with the monkey virus SV40. At the time, polio vaccines were being grown in the kidneys of specific African monkeys. For the record, we don't do that anymore. That's not something that we do. That's like, yeah, we don't do that anymore. Anyway, Jonas Salk's vaccine was a killed vaccine, so it was inactivated with chemicals, which also inactivated the SV40, as far as anybody could tell. However, Albert Sabin's virus was a live virus vaccine. So when they found out that this contaminated vaccine was an issue, they immediately destroyed all the stock that they had left. However, some people were in fact given the contaminated vaccine, and so we get the question, did anybody get cancer from this SV40 virus inside the polio vaccine? The easy answer is we don't know. The most likely answer is no, probably not. The problem is Sabin's vaccine was an oral vaccine, and when studies were done with the SV40 virus, when they injected it into animals, it would cause tumor growth. However, when they fed it to animals, there was no noticeable growth of tumors. As well, the National Cancer Institute, once they realized that this is something they'd really have to track, they set up a group to study this in specific. They compared groups that were around the right age to get that polio vaccine versus other age groups and found no noticeable increase in cancer rates whatsoever. So basically, no, not at all. This has not been an issue for over 60 years. 60 years. We've not had to worry about this at all. But just so you understand, when we're about to go back and look at this actual legit medical doctor talking about this, the place where the panic over the SV40 came from was the same place where, and this is around the mid-'80s, where they came up with this idea that vaccines created AIDS. Yeah.
Well, MRC5 is just the cell line, okay? The question is, are you getting fragments of someone else's DNA in the vaccine? And
oh my God.
If the vaccine has reverse transcriptase in it,
oh my God,
it's possible that this other person's DNA can get written into your DNA.
Oh my God.
That's exactly what I've been trying to say. So that genetic.
Okay, I really have to impress on you guys. This is a doctor. This is an MD. Okay, is an MD, and he is touting the oft-repeated and never correct notion that you can catch DNA. Oh, you can catch DNA. I was fine, but then some of my buddies' dried skin got in my cereal. And then it rewrote my whole fucking DNA. Oops. In what world does that make any sense? In what goddamn world does that make any sense? There is more biological tissue, more of somebody's genome in their spit than there is in the cell lines in vaccines. So if you're making out with somebody, let alone doing something a little bit more intimate and sharing fluids, then how in the world of sweet jumped up baby bacon covered Jesus Christ are you not slowly mutating into a hybrid you and them? How in the world do you explain? How? Dr. Kenneth Stoller, Rachel Seller, how in the world do you explain that we are not constantly mutating into each other like some weird amalgam from John Carpenter's The Thing every time we make out with a hottie? The mind recoils in horror at how monumentally stupid someone has to be to believe this. And he is not a dumb man. But he's telling you that this is real. This is magnificently stupid. Oh my God.
Genetic modification.
Shut
this
up.
GMO is not a benign thing. So, I say you don't want to eat GMO. Nobody wants to buy it. But then how come it's okay to inject it? And nobody's come forward to challenge me yet when I said all vaccines are GMO, because they
right
are.
Here. Hey, right here. I am challenging you. They are not any more GMO than damn near anything else. GMO, a genetically modified organism, is a broad term that doesn't really mean anything. We use genetic modification to make new organisms based on other organisms. Generally speaking, for plants, for agriculture, but also for other things as well. Without GMO, we would have a shortage of insulin in the planet, and a bunch of people, little children included, would die because we wouldn't have enough insulin to keep them alive because of diabetes. GMOs are good. They're good. But to say that just vaccines arbitrarily are GMO because you just don't understand them is idiotic. So yes, I am challenging you. They're not GMO, and you're an idiot. Oh my God.
I got a question for you. Are you wearing counterfeit jeans?
No, I'm wearing 5'11", EMS pants.
No, that was my joke, that people have counterfeit DNA, so they're wearing counterfeit jeans.
Oh, so
what the fuck was that laugh? What the fuck was that?
Let's say you have a girl that's 26, or she's diagnosed with juvenile arthritis, or the Hashimoto's, and I asked you, what is it about the autoimmune patients and the thyroid being attacked? And you told me that the proteins in the vaccine are similar to the proteins in the thyroid, because this is coming from another human's albumin. That's blood that they take from another human, and that protein. And I want to talk about that reaction that happens, not always right now, but sometimes later.
Okay, we really need to stop with this whole idea of this has similar proteins to that, so it's the same thing, or it impacts in the same way. Proteins are very, very basic and simple building blocks. Our DNA codes for proteins. Our DNA tells our cells what proteins to produce. Proteins create enzymes. Enzymes build the body. That's what these things are for. But the notion that something as basic as proteins are then going to lead to massively complicated syndromes and disorders is a massive oversimplification. That's like saying, okay, here's a good example. Saying that this one bad thing has a similar protein to this other thing that I distrust is like saying that I have this space Lego set, right? And it uses a brick that's 1x2, and it's one of the fat ones, right? Like that, okay? So that means I can also build a castle. Well, you can. Of course you can. But that doesn't mean that a spaceship is the same thing as a castle. That's what that does that make sense? Okay?
I say, well, the adjuvant is aluminum. So if you introduce shrapnel into the bloodstream with that albumin, the body now says, hey, albumin, I don't like you. And then the heavy metal part, the shrapnel, ends up in the gut lining. It goes all over different places. It's not like it just disappeared.
You see, vaccines are like fragmentation grenades. Like they're just injecting you with little fragmentation grenade, like nail bombs. Like, would you inject your family with nail bombs? Didn't think so.
And mercury's an adjuvant too. So, what's happening, if you just inject the pieces and parts of the virus that you want to create the vaccine for, without the adjuvant, the immune system goes, I'm not interested, okay? But if you inject something that upsets the immune system along with the pieces and parts of the infectious disease agent you're interested in, then you get an immune response because your immune system's attracted to it because of, let's say, the aluminum in this case.
Okay,
right.
Well, okay. That's really reductive. That's not, but that doesn't matter. Let's just say what he just said is fine for the sake of the argument. Okay, good. That's a good thing. Why is that bad? Why would that be bad? Why in the world? Okay, hang on. So let me get this straight. So they put this stuff, right, into the vaccine to make the vaccine work. The vaccine, we then are causing our immune system to be tricked into having an immunological response and thus builds up an immunity to that thing. Good. Isn't that what it's supposed to do? What else do you want it to do? Do you want it to not do that? Then it won't work. That's the whole fucking point, man. I don't get, okay. This makes no sense at all. It's like these people forgot that nature is constantly trying to kill us. Nature doesn't like us. Nature wants us to die. That's just the way nature actually works. We have to fool our own bodies so that nature can't kill us, which is awesome that we could do that. But they're like, oh, it's a bad thing. The thing that we designed to do does the thing that we designed it to do, and that's bad. That's wrong. Okay.
So they say immortalized cell line or continuous cell line. That in the language is telling you that it is a cancer cell line, right? So then wouldn't it flick on our cancer genes?
Not necessarily. The problem is they don't know.
Who does?
Okay. Shouldn't you know before you do this?
That is the
I would think
lazy.
so.
Yeah, that's the whole
That is the laziest dodge I have ever seen in my fucking life, okay? Her argument is that because these are immortal cell lines, these cellular tissues that are used in vaccines are immortalized cell lines, that means they're cancer. First of all, no, it doesn't. That's not what that means. Then, if these are being injected into your body, then that, because it's cancer, which it's not, it would trigger your cancer genes, and that could cause cancer. Is that right? He said, no. But they don't know. So why would you do any of this? I don't know. Because fucking people die without them. Is that not good enough of a reason for you? God, these fucking morons.
We need people standing up and have unity in our community because our doctors are under attack right now. The truth is out about vaccines. So it's like, how are we going to rise above this corruption?
Okay, first of all, there's no corruption. You can go watch my Vaxxed review. I touch on the whole corruption of the CDC. Our doctors are under attack. Which doctors? Which doctors? Are you talking about this guy who's about to lose his medical license because he is a dickbag? Good. Fuck him. What? Rachel and Dr. Stoller here, this isn't their only video together. You see, they also have put together a couple videos where they talk about the dangers of 5G. Ooh, boy, is that going to be fun. And I'll take a look at it. If it looks like it's going to be entertaining, maybe I'll make a video on that too. Anyway, y'all, that's going to be it for today. This is Banjo Jeff saying goodbye. I hope you and your family are well from mine to yours. See you next time. Yeehaw, everybody.